Why am I moving to Spain? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the soft launching of martial law by the President of the United States. Maybe it's the fact that people sitting in our government system are siding with Christian nationalists who want to remove the right for women to vote. Maybe it's the fact that there's an official filing now to overturn the right of same-sex marriage. Maybe it goes all the way back to when Roe versus Wade was overturned, knowing then, right then, that we as women are completely fucked. It's never been about protecting children. It's never been about immigrants doing it the legal way. And it's definitely never been about lowering the price of fucking eggs. What it has been completely about this entire time is control, money, power, authoritarianism, the patriarchy, but it's never been about the people. None of this has ever been about the people. So we the people are fucking leaving.
This message is for you. Why are so many Americans leaving the U.S.? You notice more and more people are packing and moving abroad, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. Life in the U.S. is a non-stop grind. You work, you pay bills, you stress, you don't really get to live. You're just existing. And I always say to you guys, you're not depressed, you just live in the U.S. Because the truth is, this environment wears you out. The politics, the rising of the crime, the constant pressure, it never ends. And let's not get on the food. It feels like every week there's a recall. Another recall, another GMO, some more pesticides, more chemicals. And you know the saying, you are what you eat. So if they keep filling everything up with junk, that means you're actually junk. You don't really get to be healthy. And don't forget about the healthcare. One bill here can wipe out your savings. But in other countries, you get better care for lower costs. Fresher food, calmer lifestyle, and suddenly leaving doesn't sound so crazy after all, right? So for many Americans, it's not about running away. It's about moving forward to something better. So leaving the U.S. is not giving up the dream. It's actually living the American dream.
Americans are leaving. They're leaving this country in record numbers. But the amount of Americans that want to leave, that's got to be a new record in itself. 63% of Gen Z want to leave the United States. Their main reason being there is no economic future here. Okay, 68% of people in this country say that they are surviving rather than living. 52% of millennials also want to leave the United States. While Gen X and boomers want to stay put, only 25 and 26% of them respectively have any interest in leaving the United States. And while yes, there is a huge gap of people who want to leave and people who can leave and people who end up actually leaving, this is worrying, right? Who's going to be left in the country if all the young people want to go somewhere else? Where do these people want to go, you might ask? Well, the top 5 countries that they want to move to are Canada, the UK, Australia, France, and Italy. There is a tidal wave of people that want to leave this country. And I can't say that I blame them. Life here is hard. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses anywhere else, but here it just feels impossible. We're moving abroad next year and we can't be more excited. If you're interested in what that looks like, stick around.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Teresa.
And I'm Scholar, and here's what we have for you today. Why are Americans packing up and leaving the US? They're moving to Mexico, Portugal, and even Africa. They're saying, I'm out and I'm done. Let us know why. And let us also know if you've already left America.
You're planning to leave.
Yes, let's break it down.
Leaving my home country was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I'm talking mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Putting yourselves in different cultures is just so eye-opening. Like when you see how people are living in other parts of the world, it forces you to realize what we take for granted back home and what we put too much value on back home. Like in the US, all we think about is money and other toxic things like status and clout. Making money is very important in today's world, but it's just a piece of the pie. Life is truly just a balance of health, relationships, finances, and enjoyment or entertainment. And I felt like in the US, I was forced to basically abandon my health, relationships, enjoyment, just to get in a good financial position. And living abroad truly helped me fix my life balancing issues, giving me more time for what truly matters. So if you can relate to how I felt back when I was living in the US, let this be a sign to get out and travel more. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back.
I moved out of the US 5 months ago, and it was the best decision I've ever made. I was living in New York City, and then I accepted a job in Beijing and moved in February. It's been absolutely life-changing, absolutely life-changing. Since I left, I had American blindfolds on, and now being out of America, they're completely removed. I've realized so much being out of the States that the way that Americans live is not normal. The way that politicians are enacting laws and speaking to people and detaining people and shooting people, like, that's not normal. People don't live like that. And I think people of my generation and the generation below me have gotten so used to absorbing news like that of mass shootings and crime and hate crimes and these crazy laws that are stripping away their rights, that we're just kind of like, oh, that's just how it is. Like, this is normal. It's not. It's not. I walk around outside alone at night, and I've never once feared for my life here. I've never once experienced hate crime. I've never once witnessed hate crime. I've never once witnessed racism here in China. Some countries are worse than others, and I do know that there's a lot of countries that they have their issues, and there are racist people around the world and hate crime around the world. I do understand. But the way that America is set up, it's kind of like we're conditioned to just learn that this is just the normal way of life, and they're almost enabling it through the laws that they're passing and the rights that they're taking away. Needless to say, I've never been more stress-free living out of the States, saving so much money here. I'm traveling so much more. I'm meeting so many more people. I have the best community around me. I have the best job. I'm able to go to work and then go out for dinner and travel to another country that weekend and come back and work again. Like, I've never been able to experience as much life as I am in these past 6 months than the first 25 years of my life. I can't express, like, you don't realize it until you leave. You do not realize how much you've missed out and how much you've been just tolerating until you leave. I'm very blessed, and the job that I accepted here helped me move, and they help with my living accommodation. And regardless, there's so many jobs that are hiring English teachers, translators. It's so possible, and it's so easy. I don't like how people are throwing their negativity out and saying, oh, well, it's too difficult, it's too expensive. It's not. Do your research. There's ways to do it. I would love to answer any questions that anyone has about moving, or the visa process, or what jobs are out here, or what the price of rent is. Like, I don't know everything because my situation's really specific, but I do know basic stuff here, and I would love to learn more and research more. So if you do have any questions, I would love to answer. I just do want you to know that it's so worth it. It's absolutely so worth it. Leave the country. Leave the country.
We are very, very seriously starting to consider leaving the United States, and I just want to hear from someone who's done it. Where did you go? How did you decide that's where you're going? How did you get a visa? Do all of that? I'm definitely researching on my own, but if there was someone I could connect with who's done this before, I just would love to utilize you as a resource. And yeah, if we can help one another, please.
Is anyone else completely sick and tired of living in America, where you're expected to work your entire life? We are not here to work. Our jobs are not our lives. Our jobs are not our purpose. Everyone asks me, what's your job? What are you doing with your life? I'm just trying to save enough and get passive income so I can go travel the world and start my life. Everyone thinks their purpose is to work. You get done with high school, then you go to college for 4 years, then you're $30,000 in debt, and then you're trying to find a job just so you can pay off that debt over the next 3 years. And then what? Then you're making enough money just to pay your mortgage and afford groceries and then pay for kids. And then before you know it, you're 60 and you're retiring and your body hurts because of your job and you didn't do anything that you wanted to do. And that's our life. That's what you're expected to do. And if you break out of that, then people are going to judge you and think you're weird or you're crazy or you're a hippie. I'm so sick of it. America needs to make a change. Something needs to change because people are not happy here. People are not living their dreams. People are not living their life. They are working. They think that their work is their life. It is not that way.
I'm gonna add to my last video. about considering leaving that country. It's just so frustrating because, you know, staying in the U.S., I can't deny the opportunity that's here. Being a first generation immigrant, my mom worked hard. I want to get emotional about it. I'm going to start crying. My mom worked so hard to get me here. And it's just really frustrating that the concept of American dream, this helps. If anybody's been to Thailand, this helps. It's just so hard that she worked to get me here. And like, I feel like I want to leave. Like, it feels so difficult for my mom to have like almost broke her back to get me here. And I want to go back home. It feels like I haven't utilized my opportunity here as much as I could. But it's just like, when you're someone that doesn't resonate with the culture of America and is so overwhelmed by the energies, the frequencies that are here, like even something as simple as like the multiple hums of an apartment, like the refrigerator, the air conditioning, the other people in other rooms, the airplanes that are flying over you, all those different things as an energetically sensitive person are overwhelming and can affect your nervous system. Like the work structure here in order to get up the ladder, the societal expectations, having to mask, all those different things build up. And as sorry y'all, there's so much stuff going on my face, but like as a person that is a holistic health practitioner, I know the tools that I need, but it just feels like a daily battle sometimes. It feels like I'm constantly against a beast of a monster. And that's why I feel like America is somewhat beautiful though, because for like the spiritual evolution of the soul, this is dope. Like America is playing the game on hard. And some of us are able to navigate that and able to overcome it like a boss. But some days I'm just like, this is BS. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here sometimes, but like, this is crazy. Like, what is this? What is this matrix? Honestly, like back home, there's so much accessibility. Everybody's living a slow life. I know there's endless stuff that are probably bad about every country, but it's just like energetically and in regards to toxins and all these different things, it feels better. Like when I was back home, it felt better. When I was in Thailand, I felt better. When I was in the global east as a totality, I felt better. They are literally programming us to believe that that side of the world is dangerous. But I'm telling y'all, like when I was outside of this country, I felt better. There was a lot of things that I still felt like wasn't ideal when it comes to like what I imagine, and I feel maybe it's rooted in conditioning. Why I imagine I want my future for my kids to be like, I do idealistically want us to be in a certain income bracket, and I feel like in America that's the opportunity. But it's just like, dang, like do I want to expose my child to all this? I'm just so conflicted, and I just want to express that out because I know there's so many other immigrants out here. There's so many other people that are energetically sensitive like me. And like this is just not normal. Like this just shouldn't be my normal. And expressing out loud sometimes really gives me comfort, because sometimes I gaslight myself to be like, I can do this, like this is regular, other people can handle it, like so I can too. But like this is all part of my decision making, because I'm gonna make a decision by December. That's when my birthday is, y'all. And then most of the time I feel really excited because I want to have an apartment here by then. But today is a day where I'm questioning things. And I'm really asking my spirit babies to let me know where they want to be conceived and born, because, child, sometimes America isn't feeling like it. Like right now I feel dizzy. It makes no sense. I just got done eating. I woke up in a bed, you know, with the roof over my head. Like, why do I feel consistently dizzy? But anyways, yeah.
Americans are finding peace in other countries. Why is it that we are learning to really, really love on ourselves? We are really learning what it feels like to have peace, to have freedom, to really unconditionally show ourselves the self-love that we deserve. Why is it that we have to leave and go outside of America to have access to quality health care, to have access to doctors that actually care about our health? Why is it that we have to leave America to actually get healthier? Why is it? Why is it that we can leave America? No one asks us about our credit. Why is it that we have to leave America to feel safe? Why is it? Why is it that so many Americans are thriving outside of the United States? And we don't have that type of thriving activity inside of the United States. Why is it that we have to leave America to have a sense of peace? Why is that? Can anybody answer me that question? Because inquiring minds want to know. Why is it that we can move outside of America and have a better life? Why is it that we can move outside of America and have the peace that surpasses even our own understanding? Why is that? Why is it that we can leave America and have true freedom and be seen for who we are? Why is it that when we move outside of America, we can be our true, authentic self? We can slow down and really enjoy life, eat great food that's not filled with all this stuff. Why is it? Why is it that we don't prioritize our mental health, but we can do it so easily outside of the United States? Why is it that my children haven't had to experience what it feels like for pow violence to be in their school? Why is it that I have not had to have the conversation with my Black boys about how they need to protect themselves because they are Black boys? Why is it that I haven't had nobody run up in my house and I moved to another country because they say I don't belong in that home? Why is that? Why is it that we can prioritize self-care and love on ourselves first, which in turns makes us love everyone else around us better? Why is that? Why is it that I actually can make it in another country? That I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck? That I actually can save? I can pay off a little bills, little student loans. Why is it that I can actually plan for my family's future, for my children's future, and I can actually breathe? My equilibrium can breathe. Why is that? Why is it that life outside of the United States is so much better?
You don't have the time you think you have. If you decided to leave, this is the sound of the alarm that's going off in your head. Every day, you're running out of time. Get out of there. That's what you're feeling. Managing that anxiety is a daily task that you have to complete multiple times throughout the day. Here are 3 ways to help manage that anxiety. First, if you're 6 to 12 months out, get your tickets. That gives you a mark on the wall, a date that you can plan towards. And you know, if you can just make it to that date, you'll be okay. Second, you want to make a plan. Every day, you want to do something that helps you move forward towards getting out of there. So when that alarm goes off that says you don't have the time you think you have, at least you know you've moved forward. Number 3, you need to reduce your intake, your consumption of news. Consider it weaning yourself off the diet that you've been on. When you get to where you're going, you're not going to be consuming at that rate anyway. So start now. Reduce the intake. You don't need to know every single thing that's going on. You need to keep your head down, on plan, get out of there, because you may not have the time that you think you have.
Americans are leaving America, and it is not for vacation. It's for survival. A growing wave of Americans are packing up, terrified by Trump's dictatorship, Republican fascism, and Democrats' capitulation. Interracial couples, LGBT plus individuals, people of color, and intelligent people in general are seeing their rights replaced with restrictions. In Ireland, U.S. passport applications hit their highest level in a decade, up 60% in just 2 months. France is seeing long-term stay visas for Americans up 20%. Portugal, Spain, UK, relocation companies can barely keep up with the demand. Traffic to Blacksit Global, which helps Black Americans relocate, surged 50% after the election. Some are leaving quietly, like a trans couple in Colorado, because Trump wrongly says there are only two genders. States are moving to ban gender care, so they're planning their exit. Google searches for how to leave the U.S. spiked after the election, and real estate deals for Americans in Spain surged before the Golden Visa program was shut down. European culture is different than American culture, and many won't adjust. And of course, Europe has its issues: immigrations, taxes. Putin expected to take Moldova and then Romania with his eyes on the rest of Europe for the new Russian Empire. But a possibility of another European war is a safer bet than staying in a country that is already a fascist dictatorship.
Let's try to discuss a bit little about life in America. It's not that cheap. Rent, expensive. Healthcare, pretty expensive. And we think people are moving to other countries where they can live on half cost.
Let's be real, the political tension in the US is so draining. I mean, some Americans are also saying they'd rather live somewhere they won't hear about Democrats versus Republicans every single day. I mean, it's like, can I just drink my coffee without another political debate? Please.
Everybody, like, we don't really have to, like, every day talk about politics. Morning, afternoon, evening, it's politics. And there's so many things that are really affecting us. And right now, in America, the things that the people are supposed to look on are the basic things: healthcare, rent, and even foodstuffs. Those are the things that the prices has to drop. And instead of dropping, they are going higher, and nobody is really talking about. And this is the thing that making people to move. Because seriously, even me, I will look somewhere that I can feel comfortable and things are really affordable.
But remember, all these challenges the US citizens are facing are all caused by politicians. So it all starts with the people you vote for. Those are the people who cause all this chaos afterwards. And then you come later on regretting your poor choices. I mean, they are poor choices because we will sing about how much we don't prefer the current president, or the current president is even worse than the previous president. It's the same song. I mean, we will go through mass shooting cases every day in the US. I mean, you don't want to sleep and wake up to sad news in the morning that someone was shot dead. Let whoever wants to move, because I mean, change starts from you, and if you feel you're the change that is not needed in the US, then you can leave. You can pack up your bags and leave. Let those who want to continue fighting for the country fight for the country.
Special thanks goes to the original creators featured in this video.
Credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in our videos. Their work and perspective made today's work possible.
And if you found this video enjoyable and fun, and you would want to talk more, kindly don't forget to comment and like. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for us. We would really appreciate it. See you in the next video.